Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bikernieki, Latvia for the penultimate round of the GRL Endurance Series. I'm Luca Ducuma, your host of the day for what is expected to be an exciting race. Weather outside is 8 degrees, with a track temp of 39.6 degrees. We're expecting a sunny event with clouds creeping in the distance. As we are approaching the end of the season, there's still one race to go for the drivers to clinch the championship on the 13th of April for the 2 hours of Zolder. And we'll be on for 2.4 hours today instead of 3. So on pole we have Vlad Tokarev, followed by Jan Steneka, just by a thin margin of to 20 thousandths of a second, followed by Kenan Liwang, Christos Vilo, Alexander Zakirov, and Mika Hakimi that will be starting from the pits. For the GT3s, we have Nikolai Besrukov, with an 11.2, followed by Boja Milan, with a small gap of only 10 thousandths of a second. Then we have Anton Young, Bruno Kolev, Dima Koch, Alexander Nekroshkov, Daniel Svoshkin, Mathieu Tereshev, Svezen Barhi, and Bismater Budiman. That would be, I expect, starting from the pits, or not. For GT4s, on the forecast day, with Lab Karyagen, starting from pole, followed by Kokes Keldran and Jesus Romero, and finally, to complete the field, Miguel Piqueras. So with yep. So with 1 minute left for the warm-up, we're looking at quite an eventful race. The championship is really tight, both in GT3, GT4, and LMP2 as well. We're expecting maybe a fourth new winner in GT4 maybe, because there's been already 3 different winners. Bojo Milan and Bruno Kolev are expected to be the main contenders for the win in GT3 category, with obviously Mr. Tokarev and Hakimi that are expected to give us a great battle for today's race in LMP2.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
So, as the formation lap starts, let me talk to you a bit about the story of the Bikernieki racetrack. It's been built in 1987, sorry. We're currently racing on the high-speed ring that consists of exactly, sorry, 11 corners. Yeah, 11 corners across 3.6 kilometers of asphalt. Bikernieki is Latvia's only permanent motor racing circuit. It has been undergoing a revival in recent years with track improvements and safety upgrades brought in by the advent of its hosting of World Rallycross. It's flourishing as a hub of regional racing in Riga. And it appears to have a bright future ahead of its history. Motorsports are not the only active action hosted by the Bikernieki racetrack. There's year-round runners and cyclists and rollerbladers that can enjoy the course. While in winter, that's a fun fact, the track becomes a cross-country skiing complex. So, quite the fun, I guess. It's also host of the virtual drift championship that takes place, I think, in March, if I'm not wrong. And it's going to be quite an eventful race considering the nature of the track, since it's a challenging, narrow and fast-flowing track. Drivers will have to rotate early in the corners to accelerate earlier. Tire temperatures are going to be quite something to manage as well, mostly in the last sector where the cars are under serious constraint. So it's going to be really an interesting race, to say the least. As we are green for LMP2s, we have Tokarev still leading the field, followed by Tanaka, Li Wang, Svelo, and Hakimi. Oh, and there's already contact between, I think, Tokarev. Green flag for the GTs. Tanaka still leading from Hakimi. Hakimi has already come back from Li Wang, Svelo, Zakharov, and Tokarev. As we have someone in the grass, I think it's Tokarev. I hope not. Look at that. Beautiful. Great. As we are looking at maybe... Oh, all right. These guys are already battling as hard as it was in the end of the race. It's going to be a beautiful battle till the end between these boys. Incredible. So, GT3, Vesrukov leading from Milan, Kolev, Kos, Young, Sreshev, Soshfokshin, and Nerkoshkov. Bocha Milan is 5/10 behind Nikolai. It will be a bit too far to be able to attack, but Kolev might have a chance to attack Milan in the first corner, considering that it's quite a short main straight. We might get a chance of a dive bomb, or not, since it's the first few laps already. As we're back into the action with the LMP2s. Christos defending from Vlad and Li Wang. And still pulling quite a gap. Steneker is still in the lead. What a great time to be alive. So what happened? He got a moment? It looks like it was overslowing the car. Maybe loss of confidence. Oh, right. As Besrukov is still leading the field in GTs, Milan is followed closely, even closer than the lap before by Bruno Kolev. I don't think he'll be able to attack him yet. As we are on board with Bruno, getting closer, but it's not enough to attack. The Mercedes have quite a great straight line speed, to be honest. With a new best lap time for Saldran in GT4s. Lovely. Christos Vilo still followed closely by Vlad Tokarev, 3 tenths behind, and still grappling, trying to get the most of the corners, the most of the car. Hakimi with the best lap, that is in the lead as well. He's overtaken Jan Steneker. And a slight lock-up from Christos might, it's not gonna help him to defend. As we are back on board with Mika on his overtake on Jan Steneker. You can see he took a little bit too much curb, and that's just purely slowed him down. And right around the outside he goes. The overtake for the lead. Looks like, that was beautiful move from Hakimi. Quite expected as well from a fast rival like him. That's already catching traffic. The LMP2s are already catching traffic. And he's already pulled a 1.5 seconds gap from Jan Steneker. Incredible racing from this guy, beautiful technique, with a new best lap time from Kalyagin with a 1:19.125. And he's leading 1.2 seconds ahead from Saldran. Look at them clearing the GT4s. Should be easier as well, considering that they are just mighty machines. And the battle is still very tight between the top 3 in the GT3 category, as we see Nikolai Besrukov still leading from Boja Milan and from Bruno Kolev, sorry. As we see top 4 and 5 just getting farther and farther from the top 3. As we are on board with Boja Milan, look at how fast these cars are between the trees and this narrow section of the track, and still not yet the narrowest one. Oh, a bit of grass hopping for Mr. Besrukov. Still leading. Snappy. Ooh, a bit too much curb. Look at that. Beautiful. But that helped Bruno Kolev get closer, actually, to Milan. From Bojo Milan. As you can see, it's a fast-flowing section from the track. You have to be very brave, not lift too much, otherwise the car gets unsettled. And as we have Sakhaev that is crashed, what happened? How did that happen? Looks like he has rear damage as well, or maybe just too much grass on the tires. But we get a chance to see what happened to him. As we get a replay, lovely. Oh, be too much curb? Where would he be? Oh, I think he may be, or else he might have accelerated too early and made him, understeer quite a lot. This corner, this left-hander is very tricky, as you have to really rotate the car before entering it, and then you have to not steer too much, otherwise you just understeer a lot. And the cars, whether it's an MP2 or GT3s, doesn't like this. As we are on board with Matev Treshev, that is actually pursuing Alexander Nekroshki, as we see an LMP2 following the gap between the two and making it wider now, as they had to slow down. expect to... Oh, and what happened? Bruno's in the wall. Bruno's in the wall. That's not a good look for the race. Something must have happened. He must have tried to overtake. Oh, this is not looking good. That's bad luck. Oof. Yeah, and P2s are just that long that the drivers sometimes forget that while they would be ahead of the car, their body would be ahead of the car is not itself ahead of the other car. So he's in the pits, I imagine, for preparations. As Mika Hakimi collected some grass there before clearing Mr. Bruno. Well, that may be one of the reasons. But, oh no, it just didn't leave him any space. That's... No. Well, can't wait to see what the race direction has to say about that. As we are back on board with Borja Milan and Nikolaj Beruskov that are still pulling away from the other GTs and still close and getting closer together, but not yet battling. Borja Milan seems to have the upper hand on the third sector. He seems to be quite more confident in bringing in more speed in the corners, as Nikolai is holding back a little bit, maybe saving tires and fuel, as we have Hakimi giving once again a new best lap. So already like 6 seconds ahead of Jan Steneker, and Tokarev still have not recovered with Steneker. I can't wait to see how the race develops with them. As Hakimi gets a penalty for the contact with Bruno. And Borja Milan still getting closer and closer and closer to Nikolai. We're getting closer to a beautiful battle between the two of these guys. And with Kos creeping up on them, actually, is, even though he's not... So race control have just announced a 10-second drive-through penalty for Hakimi for contact with Bruno. The number... Oh, lost it. And Mr. Jan Steneker lost it. Must have spawned or locked the tires. As Vlad Tokarev takes his P2. Oh yeah. Went in too deep on the brakes. Or just rear locking. That's bad luck. At the start of the race. Tough luck. Now these guys, wow. Oh. So we are back on board with the Cyberlinks Racing BMWs, still giving each other quite a stretch, but following each other quite at a great pace, actually. But yet, they're not trying to battle, as I see. And we are on board with Christus Philo, trying to gain P4, but got slowed down a little bit by the GT4, as there wasn't space for him. And Keenan Lee-Wong just pulling away. Little lock up from Keenan, maybe got scared. The P2s, oh, and the side, oh, snap under oversteer. He caught that very well. Huge job, Philo. Ooh, that was risky. And we have a car in the wall. I think it's Maciej Treshev, the number 40. Oh no, is it? Yeah, the number 47 BMW Cyberlynx Racing was in the wall. What happened? Ooh. Oh, I think he caught a little bit of grass. Oh no, it's a P2 again. Hitting a, oh my god, that was quite a big one. So that's a P2 again, shunting a GT3 car out of contention of the race. It doesn't seem to have had any big damages considering that he's still driving and gaining time on Fleisenbach, as we are on board with Delran pursuing the P1 of Kalyagin. Yeah, they've been battling as well. Very close, very late on the brakes for Seldran. Almost caught the rear of Kalyagin. As we see, Zakharov is in the pits and got a penalty as well. These cars are menacing. Look at them. Just push past us. Koke Seldran still very close to Gleb Kalyagin. They're just pulling away. They'll looks like they're go-karting. You always go faster with more cars than only one. They have great control over the cars, as the GT3s have started now to call up back to the GT4s, with Nikolai Berushkov and Borja Milan that are still fighting fighting a lot. That is incredible racing from these two. They're still yet to do any mistakes, really. This is incredible. As we are on board with Dima coach, that is tailgating the GT4 of Romero, and is trying to get back to Anson Young with the Blue Steel Racing BMW. And yeah, oh, what happened? Oh no, there's a tire deflated. Oh, that is bad. Oh, Miguel Nicolas. Oh, so we have a code 80 with a dangerous car on track. So everyone hits the pits limiter, and this is a safety hazard. We can't have an overslowed car on such a fast and narrow track. So very good, very great decision from race direction to to put this code 80 for the safety of the drivers and the sake of the championship as well. This is such bad luck. I still wonder what happened. Has he caught like a curb too hard, or did he just overinflate the tires? That is one sad beginning of a race, but you can only win the race if you finish. So anything can happen now. As we are back, looking back at what happened to Miguel Pigueras. Oh, yeah, that tire. Yes, it was. Oh, yeah, it was already wobbling his way. It was already deflated. Just went too hard. The guy didn't like that, obviously. I mean, that was a very sharp one. They have to avoid this curve, otherwise they just make other accident. No! Oh my god, so that, no. That was even worse than what I expected. The MP2 again clipping the GT car. Yeah, they're mental. As we are green again with Nikolai Bestrukov that has pulled away from Bocha Milan as he's in the pits, and Enson Young now that is following him very close. Oh, not that close, but he's coming back. Okay, Bocha Milan out of the pits. Lev Tagliagini that is still pursued by Jesus Romero in the Warsaw Crew Gold car. The battle is still fierce in the GT4s class. As we also forgot to mention that Zakidov and Hakimi are out of the race as they have had critical failure on their cars, so they won't be racing today anymore. And we have Miguel that is again caught by bad luck. Oh no, he's still not yet in the pits, that's why. That my hard time. As race control is advising drivers to be careful with the... Oh yeah, exactly. To be careful. We don't want anything to happen again. As Young is has caught already almost a second in one lap to Besrukov. And Miguel is finally getting in the pits, getting a chance to repair his car and maybe get a chance again at racing, battling for the podium. And Enson Young is getting closer and closer and closer to Nikolai. It seems like there's a rocket ship stuck to the BMW all of a sudden. We're about to see a German battle. Mercedes versus BMW. Can't wait to see that. A bit of sliding, but using all of the track space. Just purely focusing on this target. Maybe a little bit too much track usage. But they will allow it as long as he doesn't crash. Beautiful. A new best lap time from Milan, Poggio Milan, with a 1:12.670. Marvelous. And we are back with the battle for P3 between Alexander Nekroshkov and Dima Kos. As Dima is really aggressive today and really looking for a great result. But now the biggest contenders out of sight for the podium. We are expecting a great BMW and Mercedes battle between these guys. But Alexander is pulling quite the gap as well. He has an insane straight line speed compared to Dima. So imagine he's just going to close the gap in Sector 3 as he's being overtaken by the LMP2 of, I think, Tokarev or Steneka. Might be Steneka. Looks like it. Yep. Beautiful. On the edge, purely light up on the brakes. as the GT3s just have to lift. Great technique from these drivers. Hats off to these guys. I wouldn't be as brave as them as they are. Not even remotely close to how they dare tackle the track. They're giving us quite the example on how to race cleanly, apart from the few incidents between the P2s and the GTs. And other than that, they are just fast and clean, and that's what we expect at this level of racing. As we have Spider, Spider, great memory, good job, as he's clearing the GT3s. Still a bit hesitant in the GT3, just great, being the smarter guy, I guess, not being a redhead. They have to pretty much run for the line, otherwise they just get hit by the NP2s, and that's not what you want when you have such a heavy car. As we are on board with Dima Coach, he's still trying to follow Neroshkov, but he's still pulling away bits by bits, and it's really pushing it, as you can see, as he had a tight of oversteer, and car corrected him, saying, no, you have to stay within the lines, otherwise we won't be able to battle for P3. Look at that. Beautiful. Would almost be a flat-out section if they had an MP2 like Aero, as Pocha Milan is still coming back through the field after his pit stop and trying to get on the tails of the new Four Sports BMW of CS1 Barry. And we are back into this tight section that is catching less driver than I expected. It's mostly, it's incredible how they manage that, but they get caught on what would be thought the easiest part of the racetrack, as he now has the better run over Bahi, as he's trying to get around the outside to possibly overtake him, and he did. He cleared him by quite a margin, already 7/10 ahead. It's definitely not an easy task to overtake around the outside, so you have to be trusting the other driver to not push too much, otherwise there's a big chance that the car just understeers while braking because of the lateral G-forces, as it catches a bit of grass, because he's pushing so hard to get back to Nikolai, and now I think he's really used too much of his tires, maybe. Anson Young back with it. That is just getting dragged away from Nikolai Berochkov in the hopes of clinching P1. but now he's back into clear air, so it will allow him to have cooler tire temperatures. As the GT4 field is getting a little bit more gapped, but they're still really close in comparison to GT4s and GT3s and the LMP2s. As Yadran is now leading the race from Cagliagin and Romero, with Piqueras that is 4 laps behind. I don't think he will be able to recover from that. It's going to be a very complicated task. Now that is such a shame that accidents happen so early in the race. It just cancels out any chance for the drivers to really being able to battle for a win. That is heartbreaking. As we are back into the GT3 of Mr. Dimakos, still trying to catch a glimpse of the tail lights of Alexander Negoroshko in the Cyber Lynx Racing BMW. He's not having the best of the times, but at least he's in clear air, so he has cooler tire temperatures, which means he can push a little more. But that means also that Alexander has possibility to pull away because he's also in clear air, as they are 8 seconds away from the battle of the lead, with Young that is still getting farther and farther from Berushkov, that is pulling quite an impressive lead. Actually, I think he must have slept earlier. That's why Young was getting so close to him. But now he's just putting on a stellar pace over Young. As we are back on board with the GT4s in the GT4, the Alphabet Racing team with Gleb Kalyagin, that is trying his best to get back into the slipstream range of Koki Seldran. I'm really amazed at how they are just pushing these cars the maximum of their capacity. It's like we have lost the sound of the cars. As Borja Milan has pulled a massive gap over Stefan Barry. There is almost now a 10-second gap. That is massive. He's putting a massive effort to come back to the field, as his next target will be Shoshkin. That is 14 seconds away from him. Oh, sorry, 27 seconds ahead of him. He has quite a lot of work to do because of his early pit stop. As Tokarev has pulled quite a big gap on Jan Steneka, as per expected. But the race is still not halfway done over there, so there's still a chance for everyone to be a contender for the win. So we have to be patient with that. Oh, bit of tire sliding as we heard from the GT4s, and Borja Milan still gained 1 second. He gained 1 second on the last lap of his Koshin. So he's putting quite the effort, and it's pretty impressive. Oh, yellow in sector 1. Something must have happened again. Oh, there's a BMW in the grass. Did he spin? Whose BMW is it? Oh, it's face found Spahi that got caught in the grass. Oh, that must not be his day today. Hard braking, sliding, yeah. Just like the brakes and clipped the rear of the GT4 off. Number 351, it must be. Yeah, that's not his day today, I imagine. As now he's 22 seconds away from Poggio Milan. As Perushkov still maintaining his gap and his lead over Young and Niklotkov. Yeah, it's not really easy. It's not an easy task. And we are looking at Gleb Kaliagin, that is 1.2 seconds away from Sedran. He's pushing his Toyota Supra as hard as he can. Come back, and he will have to, because there's traffic now, and there's a chance that he gets slowed down. The MP2 is catching the rear of the number 251 Toyota Supra, the WSR racing team. There's a bit of dirt flying. Oh, as he almost clips the rear of Bahi. You can see how hard they're pushing, and yet they're not using all of the track to their advantage. There's still quite a margin that they can use to be a little more comfortable. But easier said than done, obviously. You have to realize that they are racing, first of all, so it's not practice. As Gorky Seldran gets an understeer moment, as well as Gleb that follows him into the mistake, but he got closer now, so now they both have dirty tires, and they both have to struggle and fight against the car to still be able to push it to the limit. It's incredible. They are not scared of that. They don't think about it. They just deal with it, and that's to show how brave they are. Even though they're not using all of the track, but I think it's just me being a back seater, and I don't think I'd be able to go as fast as them. Even though, yeah, he overlooked a little bit this corner, going a little bit too wide before the exit, compromising his top speed for the main straight. As he was hard on the brakes, early on the throttle, already in fourth gear out of the corner. He short shifted, he kept the shift, sorry, to the gear to third. A lot of bumps, as you can see. These cars handles them quite well, as he has a moment of understeer, oversteer, and he called it. Incredible, magnificent display of car control. As he is understeering now because of the dirty tires and the flat spots. ABS locking is not always the best thing to happen to a car. As we have, of course, that is still trying to get into the bumper of Nekoroshko. 1 second away now, but they're still very far from each other. it seems like it's a magnet, but they're just repulsing each other rather than getting each other closer. Look at that. Early on throttle, just pushing it to the red line every time. As he is a tenth faster than Alexander on the previous lap. And see how he pushed to the limit. As I was saying earlier, as the less you steer and the more you get the rotation done before the corner, the more chance you have to really come out faster, obviously. And you can see how it displayed almost to its advantage. Unfortunately, missed his braking point. As we have an LMP2 of Unison Racing that is clearing the GT Force, the battling GT Force. And Gleb Kali again that is still and getting closer now to Koke Serran. So yeah, I hope we will get a beautiful battle between these two because they are pushing each other to go faster and faster and faster. And obviously sometimes there's the mistake, and I hope not. I hope it won't happen as he gets slowed down by the BMW of Paris. But he can also get a bit of slipstream to help him with the slower exit. I guess it didn't help. Now they just don't have to reminisce and not make the mistake again of overturning the car. He took a lighter approach to the corner now. As we are looking back again at Dima Kos and Alexander Nekoroshki, sorry, that are still really trying to get back to the leading boys, but still no battle yet. They're just pulling each other closer and closer to the leaders. So it's benefiting both of them, I'd say. As one is pushing to catch back the lead, and the other is pushing to maybe get a chance on an overtake, as we had a small yellow flag for a fraction of a second, maybe caused by the MP2 that went off wide on the grass. And Gleb is really getting closer and closer as we speak. Optimizing every time, every single lap, a little bit more his corners. As you can see, he's pushing it to the limit. The BMW is maybe not content with staying behind the GT4s, as we see we'll have to get cleared of them before the main straight, otherwise there would be a little bit of a problem in the first corner. I don't think he will. So Gleb will be again penalized by the traffic that is not helping him and slowed him down. He is slowing down. He's slowing down on purpose, looks like it. Or not, I hope not. As we have now the P2s and the GT3s and the GT4s that are all together trying to share the same bed. But they don't have enough space to do it, as the LMP2 clips another time a GT4, and this time it's for the P. Oh my god, no, that's not good. I don't think race control will be happy with that, but you could say it's a racing incident as well, as the LMP2 was trying its best to not clip and the BMW as well as the Toyota. So we'll see what race control has to say about that.
Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has to say about that. Race control has
as well with Lee Wong, In and Lee Wong. That was driving. Heading back to Christos Velo. Christos Velo's in the pits as well. Forgot to mention that. So it's going to roll the dice again for the race. As he was coming out of the pits, he was catching some traffic. Bit of throttle overlapping, accelerating, smooth, small gap. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I think that's just obviously shouldn't have happened because he had more than plenty of space to pass him, but I think he reacted to the slight steering movement of the Toyota, and that's what caused him to obviously turn the other way, and it's just a bit of miscommunication between the drivers, but it's obviously possible that he gets penalized for that because he is the faster car, so he has to be a bit more careful with his inputs. But we'll see about that. As we have Dimakos, that is now 2.5 seconds behind Alexander Nekrotchko. The battle for P3 is still in contention. As the field is getting more dispersed. And yeah, now there's quite a big gap in the GT4 field between P2, P3, and obviously P4, as the leader, Koke Serran, is still leading the race. Strike of good luck, I guess. We have Jan Steneker that has been in the pits for more than for quite some times now. But he almost clips the rear Li Wang, that almost clips the rear of Dimakos. That is not something you want to happen again. As Tokarev has pulled an immense gap now. We haven't seen neither heard from him for quite a while, but he's been pulling the gap over 1 lap ahead now of Steneker because of obvious fact that he was in the pits. As Li Wang is trying his best now to get back to Jan Steneker to contend and fight for P2 now. Ooh, as there's a bit of sliding. Yeah. Tire temperatures are definitely something that they have to look for in this section of the track. It kind of reminds me of the trees section in the at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, in a way. But it just might be me that is a bit of a fanatic. But yeah, it just reminds me of this spot. As we are a replay of Matej Tereshev that is caught in the grass once again. This corner is not forgiving at all. You just have to either release the brakes too fast, or you accelerate too early and you just understeer into the grass, because obviously it's like a bit like Laguna Seca or many other tracks where you do not want to turn too much and not upset the car, because otherwise you just end up either in the gravel or on the grass, and there's not much room for the error there, since it's a classic track as it was built in 1987, as it was Latvia's premier motorsport venue in Riga. It Matthew Streshev is getting closer now to Svevan Bahi, and we might expect an overtake during this lap or later on the next lap. But I think Svevan Bahi must have some kind of damages to be that slow. Sorry for the term, but that slow on turn 1. It must be front bumper or something like that. That's just not helping him at all. It's not producing the downforce that he needs. As Matthew is hitting, on his rear bumper now. It's almost sniffing the tail lights out of the Nouveau Sports BMW. He's not as confident as Bahi, but yet found a way to get closer and closer and closer. As he clips too much curb, it could have unsettled the car. He's very confident about this car. Can really take on these curbs, I guess. As we'll see again, we can confirm the Pozzi. And no. Oh yes, he is. He must have some kind of damage. He's always two times in a row where he just has his car trying to go away from him, Sveihan Bahi. So is he under pressure? Maybe. Ooh, we got close. Okay, so we don't have the same amount of confidence with these two guys in the last section of the track. It's quite interesting. We have a more conservative approach from Sveisenbachi on the few penultimate corners as he's going into the pits probably to undercut him. Sometimes it's just better to leave it at best, and pretty much if you're confident in your pace, you can obviously get into the pits and do opposite as your opponent and get a chance to undercut him through the pits. As Dima, of course, is getting a bit slower now, and Alexander is just pulling away from the Cyberlinks Racing BMW. I mean, the Need for Speed Cyberlinks BMW, as they are the same team, same, but different. As we are back with Borja Milan, the fan, the quote-unquote fan favorite for the win of today. But it's going to be complicated to come back, as Petrukov has been putting quite a stellar pace today to hold the lead. So we will see about that if he gets a chance at battling for the podium again and maybe for the win. As Young is into the pits now, it will open the opportunity for the other driver, for Petrukov, to also serve a stop and change his tires maybe, or not. As we have Svilo that is clearing a bit of traffic now and the unison LMP2 behind I find to be very beautiful. I was saying that to the race director earlier before the race that it just looks like a dragon to me. But it's such a beautiful car. It looks like a blooming flower at the same time. Colorful and all. As it was part, as he told me, it was part of the history of the liveries that it was part of some kind of contest, livery contest for a thing film. It looks like they won it and they actually raced it for a big race, a big event, real life sport event. And we are back with Dimakov, that is now chasing again the tails of Alexander Nekroshkov and doing the opposite of our friend that is now pitting for new tires, I imagine, either new tires or the fuel. We tried to get a hold of the drivers, but I think they were just too focused on their race prep, so we didn't get the chance to interview them today. But we will have the chance to talk with them at the end of the race for the post-race interview. As Borja Milan is being followed now very closely by Alexander Nikrotkov. Sorry, no. Sorry, my bad. Oh, as Berushkov, as expected, went into the pits with 16 seconds gap over course. And Borja Milan may or may not get a chance to tackle again the podium, as he was being, I guess, a long run strategy. As he will be coming out of the pit soon, with Dimakov in the lead. Berushkov still in the pits. Maybe they're cleaning, wiping the windows, the front shield of the car. I don't know. Borja Milan is now 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 11 seconds behind Berushkov. There might be a chance for them to battle at the end of the pit lane, as Borja Milan overtakes Berushkov. So not only did he undercut all of the field earlier on, but did he undercut as well the leader of the race, as Dimakov is still yet to come into the pits. So we'll see how it rolls up for him. And he's not going into the pits. That's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, considering that the pit stops are quite lengthy. If they're not, if they are refueling as well as changing the tires, they can spend almost a minute, more than a minute, in the pits. So they have to take this into account if they want to lead the race or win it. As it comes round the corner, round tilts, as it is called, turn 3, comes Slimnika. I don't know how to say it, unfortunately. I'm sorry if I butcher it. That is turn 4, as we have Daniel Shroskoshin that spun. I hope it's not... Oh, okay, yeah, so he just came out too early, went too early, either too early on the throttle at the last corner, at Taylor corner, or he just completely missed his braking point. As we are back on board with Ensign Young, that is now maybe in contention for a podium. in the Blue Steel Racing BMW, Nikolai Perushkov, that has 12 seconds to recover to get back to Milan if he wants to get a chance to the lead. As the GT4s are still yet to go into the pits. We have Tokarev that is still leading the field from Steneker and Liwang and Svilo in the MP2. As a GT3 for now, it's Kos leading from Dimakov, that is leading from Milan, Beruchkov, Jon Nikorochkov, Sportskoshin, Kreshev, and Lim. As in GT4, Kokis Jaderan is still leading from Kalyagin and Romero, and Figueras that is still not recovered from his contact early on the race with the P2s. As Svilo is looking to clear out the BMW of Dimakov, as there is a yellow flag in Sector 2. Well, something wrong happened. We don't know yet, and it's flashing again in yellow. Oh, that's Darren Lane, the Nuvosport BMW that's in the wall. He must have spun. It gets cleared by the leader of the race. We will get a chance, a glimpse at what happened to Darren. Oh yeah. Yeah, this corner is unforgiving, and he paid the cost of being a bit impatient. Under pressure, he has to deliver. Will he pit? No, he's very brave. Oh my god, okay. So Tokarev is finally pulling into the pits with a one-lap lead over Jan Steneker. I imagine he will be refueling and changing his tires or not. He's been there for 20 seconds now, 25, and Jan Steneker will be closing the gap on him, and he might be coming out with cold tires, so it will give a better chance to Jan Steneker to maybe slow him down if he gets a hold of him, maybe. As Dima is now sliding a little more, and Milan is getting closer to him, but watch how Beruskov is closing the gap between him and Milan. It's going to be a scary battle, I think, as he's really pushing his car, optimizing the track. That's what I personally love to see. As you can see, he's really taking quite the conventional racing line and just letting his car do the work for him. It looks like he's really, cruising around. He's really getting closer to the white line, maybe a little bit away from the apex, but he's still doing an incredible job considering that he hasn't stopped, as I remember, since the beginning of the race. You can see smooth trail braking into the corner, allowing him to really rotate the car and accelerate earlier. Look at that, beautiful. With a slight twitch. I think he's just in the zone now and there's no stopping him. Maybe a little bit of sliding, too much steering input. As we're back with Nikolai Vedochkov. That is chasing the tails of the World of Sim Racing team, Mercedes, sorry. Got used to say BMW, but these are Mercedes. Beautiful V8s, monsters. They sound like they are pulling hair. They're just pulling hair out of the engine. That is a beautiful machine as well. But he has to clear traffic, so it takes a bit longer back. As we had the BMW sniffing the gearbox of the LMP2. I guess there was a little mistake. Yeah, pushing, just, oh, he got 2 seconds. Oh, something happened to Milan. He wouldn't catch so fast. For not something to happen in Sector 3. It's like Tokarev that is spun. It must have been between him and Berushkov. Now it's up to him to defend from Jan Steneker. Oh no, yeah. Again, LMP2 bullying the GT Force. It's not something we would like to see. Obviously, a bit of action is welcome, but not hitting the opponents straight out of the contention of the race. That is a strike of bad luck for these guys. As we are back on board with Borja Milan. He must have had a big scary moment that will go between them, and he was struck by the Toyota Supra. So that's why Berushkov got it so much time. Caught him so fast. And that is traffic was the main concern. It's no wonder why this racetrack does not allow for a mistake. Otherwise, it's just get everyone. As car number 55, Tokarev, gets a warning because of collision. See, bit of debris. Oh, as Liwang came onto, oh no, this is Philo. It's just been understeered to the gravel in Tails corner. That is not good. And we have yet another Supra that gets unfortunately slowed down. But we have Gali again that is catching up to Koke Serjan. So we might be look at that. Oh, splitting by blue flag. As Nikolai Berushkov is getting closer now to Borja Milan. Borja Milan just using all of the track that he can to get away as fast as possible from Nikolai Berushkov before he gets into his slipstream. As Nikolai has to make way for the LMP2. Getting slowed down again, so it makes it pretty even for the both of them. As he's giving quite a lot of space to the LMP2, but the LMP2 didn't catch that and just slowed them, both of them down. You can hear how much just rotates the car before the corner, make sure he gets the best exit as possible to catch and gain as much time as possible over Borja Milan. That is, just being really aggressive. We just get a glimpse of what great drivers do during a race, and they're just giving us the best example of what racing is. It's just pushing each other to the limit. Remember, it's still a sport, whether it's a car or a horse or anything, it's still a sport. And this guy was putting such an effort to keep these cars between the white lines and still push them to the absolute limit. So it's really incredible. As we get a a wider view of what's happening between the two of them, as he's getting closer and closer to the bumper of Borja Milan. He's not gonna let go until he gets ahead of him. As we expect the Team Phoenix Mercedes to fly past and not burn in front of the World of Sim Racing Team Mercedes of Borja Milan, as he sneaks his nose in but thinks about it and doesn't, giving a lot of respect to his fellow competitor and just pushing him, trying to push him for a mistake, as this is the corner that has caught the most the drivers today, and he doesn't fail it. That's crazy, as he shows him, yeah, to unsettle him a little bit, but he doesn't get none of that, and he just keeps pushing. Will keep pressuring him, like showing him sniper to the mirror, saying, "Hi, I'm here, be careful, I might attack you," as he is now keeping the nose in. But I think Borja Milan is expecting him to do that, so he just focuses on what's ahead and not behind him. But he might have to be careful, because Phoenix is about to really get aggressive, as they both get a moment of sliding oversteer. They are really getting closer and closer together. Yeah, they're giving us such a beautiful glimpse of what's about to happen on the last round of the championship, as this is the penultimate round, and we're still yet to see who's going to become the champion. Now this is, yeah, pure heart. That's just the passionate heart that's talking now, but he's I won't say it's relaxing because I'm on the job, so I can't say it's relaxing, otherwise it will be seen bad. But as he is now, has his nose behind his wheel, and Borja Milan leaves plenty of space for him, and being a smart guy, the smart guy that he is, I think he now is going to take advantage of Nikolai Beruchkov's pace if he gets the possibility to, of course, match his pace. It's always easier said than done. Right here now, pulling into the pits, stopping as we have Dimakos that is in the grass, catching back with Alexander Negrodkov, that is now in the role of the cat, chasing the mouse. They have exchanged the roles, and oh, as we have a P2 trying to clear. Oh, no. This is bad, yeah. That was bound to happen. See how close they were, and Dima didn't leave any space to do P2. He just tried to. Obviously, it's not a one-person situation, it's a 1-1, it's 50-50. The MP2 could have slowed down more to, you know, learn a little bit more, but I guess they're both pushing to defend their position, so it's safe to say that they're just trying their best, and it's obviously a racing incident. As long as we don't get any casualties, it should be good. There's a bit of sliding from Dimakot, pushing his BMW as well to the limit. As yeah, you can see he's really getting his car to rotate on the brakes rather than just turning with the wheel. You can see how much twitchy his car is, so he must have quite a setup as well. Beautiful. Bit of understeer for Alexander Nekrutkov, as he's a little bit more harsh. This guy is very twitchy as well. He must have a very stiff setup, considering how much it bumps compared to the others. Or maybe it's the BMW. I haven't played much of a factor, to be honest. So I won't be able to tell. But I guess you guys in the on the chat could tell me a little bit. Swooping past, beauty. So I was not expecting them to battle for that long together, because they've been going round and about since the beginning of the race, as Alexander in the beginning was leading from his teammate Dimakos. But now it's the other way around, so it's quite funny. As Pocha Milan is trying to recover from what happened earlier, and I think he's completely lost it. As Lim is still into the pits, 40 seconds in. Reshev is one lap behind Borgio Milan. And Berutkov is still going strong and is stronger than ever. Stokarev as well is back into the lead, leading from Jan Steneker, Roman and Fido. And yeah, oh, I didn't even notice it, but the GT4's Romero is now up into second place, 16 seconds away from Koke Servan, as Kaliagin has had to go, I imagine, into the pits for his damage caused by his incident with the LMP2. As Piqueras is now 3 laps behind Kaliagin, but that means he's still 4 laps behind the leaders, so we're still not catching a glimpse of hope for him. I'm deeply saddened for him, because it's a long race on a short racetrack, old school racetrack as well. So as soon as you make a mistake, you're obviously going to have less chance to recover from it, considering the level that these guys are driving at. They're really not joking. As he's trying to clear the GT4, but the GT4 was obviously into the way. He couldn't do much. Neither the GT4 does him. But they're still pulling and trying to get that gap smaller between the two of them. As there's an LMP2 coming into the party. As there's a lot of wobbling for the Mercedes. Let's have a go. I don't know. And as we get a new best lap time for Kaliagin, proving that he's still the fastest guy on track in the GT4 category. But yeah, man. Borja Milan is really going for a safer approach to this section of the track. It seems like the BMWs are really more aggressive towards the corners, as the Mercedes can take a little bit more curb than them. So it makes it for a pretty even field. Obviously racing technique. And we have Silo that is clearing another time the GT3s without any struggles, not causing any incident. That's up to him. Oh, and then the suspension tried a bit too hard and got a bit of grass. The exit of is now getting closer to his opponent. Romero jumped into the pits. So I guess it's his first stop now. Then we get a yellow flag in sector 3. What happened? Two laps in a row, and we have a noble slow GT4 car that is coming out of the silo corner. Something must have happened again. I hope not again between an LMP2 and a GT4. That would be quite a shame. But I know. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, already a lot of wobbling, so maybe a puncture goes by an earlier hit. No, nope. As Daniel's. Oh, I don't want. I'll just say Daniel now because I feel like I'm butchering his name and it's not nice. So Daniel is now looking at the rear spoiler of Borja Milan. He was not in a good position at the start of the race, and now he's really popping off and getting all faster. I'm surprised Borja Milan is really taking it back. We get a replay from Lima Court that is trying to overtake the Supra, and yeah, oh no, that's not good. All the time you have to leave the space. It's fortunately it's basics, and yeah, with pressure you sometimes forget about that and just overlook the other the surrounding environment. As we are back in the battle for P4 between Daniel and Borja Milan, we really someone's getting closer to them. No, as Cole is into the pits as well. It's been quite a long now. It's already 2 minutes that he's into the pits. What is happening with him? And Li Wang as well has just jumped into the pits. So imagine he's on an alternate strategy. Daniel is now not pushing as hard. He took a step back, maybe to cool the tires down, as he was getting really close to him, and it doesn't help on such a short track. As he gets a moment, he has a moment in this tight section of the track. Yeah, I forgot that he loves the curbs. He's really aggressive on the curbs, this guy, and he's not giving them any rest. As he's closely followed by the BMW of, I'm not wrong, or Lim, I'm not sure. Oh, kicked out. Much action going on right now. We have Bikernieki that is getting quite closer to Romero, to the number 351 truck. Might be again in contention for the win if anything happens to Koke Setaran, but it's only a matter of time. There's still an hour to go. The race isn't done. Some people that were really far back at the beginning of the race are still trying to push and competing for the race. So it's quite impressive, to say the least. As he gains 5/10 in one corner, he's really. His car shows how much he wants to come back and fight for the lead. And with 1 hour remaining, I'll be honest, I'll do the same. I'll just be focused on trying to win to the best of my capacities. And he's displaying that. He's really pushing the car without overstepping it. And you can see she's not complaining. Just flawless movements. He's just letting her do the job. Pretty much telling her, hey, I give you the commands, light hand, you do whatever you want. I just press the pedals, and that's pretty much what he's doing. And it's displaying quite a beautiful driving technique that is flawless. As Koke Serdan is now into the pits, and Kos has been into the pits for quite a while. I don't remember him crashing that hard earlier, as he just comes out of the pits. Oh yes, that was Dima. Yes, he crashed hard. I forgot. I'm really sorry. So now he has to get back into it and push as hard as he can until the end of the race to get a chance at battling for at least P4 and even the podium. Let's be ambitious, as he is closely followed by Poggio Milan, that is also chasing the tails of Nekrotkov, as Perushkov is still pulling away from these guys. And Koke Shedran is just right off the pits, the cold tires, as Romero and Gagliagin are getting closer and closer to him, and Piqueras is now 4 laps behind. He has not gained back the time lost at the beginning of the race. What a sad thing to happen on such a long race. I mean, it's long but short as well, so yeah, it's not easy for these guys. But Jesus Romero is now into the sights of Gleb Karjagin, and I don't think he's willing to step back at all. He's gaining quite a lot of time per laps and per corners as well. He's really pushing hard to get again a sight of Koke Serdan, and I can only wish him that, because he was quite unfortunate how he lost it, and Jesus Romero is letting him by. Was he confused by the blue flags, or is he just not trying to lose time on his own race, which would be quite a fair move from him, and intelligent as well. Sometimes it's just better to pretty much be realize and be smart that you can't battle with someone, so instead of just losing time and being selfish, you just let him by. And I think it did just that, and that shows how good of a racer Jesus Romero is, considering that now he's pulling it to the pits, and now it's game on for Gleb Kaliagin. And what someone would have said in the past, hammer time for him in Formula 1. As Dima called, we are back with him. Something must have happened. Oh, don't tell me. I hope it's not the moment within an MP2. I really wish not. Ah, it is. It is. Ah, no. Again. Again. That's not good. That is not a good look. As he teleported back to the pit. Yeah, now he's DNF. So we have lost one car. First car that we lose in the GT3 category, as we have lost 2 other LMP2s earlier during the race because of traffic incidents. They haven't crashed on their own. It's never a self-inflicted mistake. Now it's only a been between them, and yeah, it just clips in rear, and and snap oversteer. You just can't always. You cannot always recover from that, and that's tough. That's tough. As Philo is still very clean when it comes to clearing up the traffic. Very respectful, giving a lot of space. He's not taking too much risk like the other guys, as we are with Anson Young. I'm not sure if he has pitted yet, or if he's supposed to pit soon. We'll see about that. He's not. Buttercup still leading from Young and Necrotcop, as Porto Milan is not pushing as much as he was earlier, followed by Daniel, that is pushing as hard as he can to catch back Porto Milan, followed by Tveshiev and Lim. As Pikeras is back into the pit as well in GT4. We have Tokarev now that has pulled again a one-lap lead over Jan Steneka. And Lewang is 53 seconds behind Jan. As Philo, while being very clean and very respectful, is still trying to catch Lewang back. So we are in. Oh, as he gets a moment, must have. What happened? Did he just brake too much? Just accelerated too hard over the curbs? As we have the input. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, accelerated too hard. Too much steering input. The car didn't like that. It was too late to cut the power. We recovered it pretty well, so props off to him. As he's clearing the GT4 very aggressively, coming in front of him. That's some balls right there. There is some serious balls right there. As the Unison Racing LMP2 clears both of the GT4 and the GT3. But still, sometimes it looks like they're really pushing out and all of a sudden they just slow down quite a lot. I really wonder how they plan their race, to be honest. Because the second that he really close to each other, and then they just pull back away, not really doing any mistakes, but just not pushing, I guess. So he's a tenth faster. Daniel is a tenth faster than Porto Milan in the end to catch back up to him, but the laps are very short. So if he manages to keep the same pace, he will be soon enough close. And in contention to battle for P4 again. But I think it's really a chess game between the two of these guys. They're already measuring it like Alan Prost would have done way back in the past, as he's flashing his lights to the GT4, and I don't want to lose time. I need to keep up the pace. And GT4 pretty much having to agree. No other choice. It would have been really interesting to see a full field, a complete field, because I really think there would be, yeah, obviously more chaos, but also more action. They are already now all far from each other because of different strategies and obviously incidents caused by the LMP2s and now GT3s between the GT4s. Unfortunately, the biggest victims there are the GT4s. But we don't expect them to take revenge, otherwise that wouldn't be fair play, obviously, and very dangerous as well. Very long stop for Engine Young, as Poggio Milan now is about to reclaim V3 from Young, from Enson Young. He's just coming out of the pits on cold tires, overtaken again by an LMP2. With Daniel, that is now closer than ever to P4. We all know that he's not looking for P4, he's looking for the win as well as the others. See how the car is twitchy. That is but a gymnastic, and he already gained a 2-second gap over Enson Young and Poggio Milan. So the tires better get up to temperature for him, otherwise he will not be able to catch again the fast and mighty Poggio Milan. As Jan Steneker is blocked a little bit behind the BMW, meaning that there's no incident at the end of the straight line. And he just do it perfectly clean. As Christos Philo, being the cleanest and the fairest guy on track today, what happened to him? Oh no, that is bad. Oh, he must have had some big damages. Oh, I think he went back to the pits. He had to go back to the pit, and that's a third DNF in the LMP2 field. We've lost half of the field today to accidents, both traffic and drivers related. That's tough. That's tough for the top category. That's not good. But Young, Enson Young is not giving up on his P3 though. Now that his tires are a bit warmed up, as we get a new replay, something happened again. Matthew Treshev is... Oh, please don't tell me it's the Tokarev. Don't tell me there's been a contact between the two of you. Oh, no. That was... okay. That was clean. Clean and fair between these three guys. And too light on the brakes. Obviously, weight shifting towards the front of the car and pretty much nothing on the rear. and it just made him lose balance. Very common to happen. As Enson Young is now getting closer to Border Milan. Border Milan is really in a saving strategy today. It's quite interesting, as he was more aggressive on the last round, and now he's really taking it back. Looks like he's taking a nap, as Berushkov is now in the pits. No wonder. Now he's stopped. Okay, so we will see. They have a lap now to get back to Berushkov, but we obviously know that Berushkov is not going to give up on the P1, on the win. He's looking for it and he's fighting for it, as Matiev Tereshev is in the grass, and I see a car that was into the gravel in the background, as we have a yellow in sector 1. Something must have happened again. Oh, no. That's not good. Oh, yeah, too much brake. Yeah, they have different lines. They have 2 different lines, and it didn't match, as it spins around, almost clipping the LMP2 coming around. As we are back on board with Enson Young, getting closer to Border Milan. Border Milan is really pulling him away through the straight line. Maybe we're about to witness a turn 1 dive on, but I would doubt it would be the case. As he does. Beautiful move from Enson Young over Border Milan, as they will be battling for the rest of the lap, I think. Beautiful move. You really noticed how they was braking, and he just pretty much lifted up a little bit and caught him by surprise. He couldn't do anything. Did it very clean. So congrats to you, Enson Young. That was a beautiful move. But I have to talk about that during the post-race interview if you're on the podium. As Border Milan is now, really taking it back. Or maybe he needs someone to lead him to save a bit more fuel, and could be a part of his strategy as well. It wouldn't be surprising, as Nick Rodkov came out ahead of Berushkov, and Tereshev is now into the pits, I guess, to get some reparations done, get some work on this car. As that Neo was trying to battle very hard with him, and it didn't work out the way they both expected it to be. Enson Young has a bit of a moment coming out of Tilta. And Border Milan is really trying to push and take the most out of his Mercedes. As there's a back marker in front of him that almost lost it on the straight. You don't want that to happen either on this section, considering how narrow it is. And whoever Sport BMW is not giving him an easy time to pass him. As we have Tokarev now that is in the pits with a 1 lap lead over Steneker, and Steneker that has a 1 lap lead over Liwan. As we've lost Svailo, Hakimi and Zakirov now from the LMP2 class. I haven't heard much from the GZ Pros now, but they're still the whole field since the beginning. And Bikernieki seems to be catching back up to Serdaran, but we'll see about that as soon as he gets closer to him. As Enson Young now is pulling big gap over Borja Milan, maybe a softer tire compound. Either that or it's just really under fuel. He's maybe stopping soon enough. Tokarev just came out of the pits and still has a 35 seconds lead over Jan Steneka. So he's really stretching his legs right now. He stopped, I think, in the 10 laps ago and is still in the lead. So he's really doing a great job at leading this race and pretty much driving fast. As we are on board with Nikolai Perutkov, that is making his Mercedes roar to the extreme, trying to really catch back Nikolai. And that he is getting closer. He's really pushing it, not touching any curbs, knowing that it would be able to unsettle this guy, pretty much make him lose all momentum on the next lap. That is 1.2 seconds faster, as we have a Toyota Supra that is in the gravel. Must have missed his braking point. It could be Jesus Romero or he's a Piquera. I think that's Jesus. That's a Piquera. I was into the gravel. Ooh, quite a bit of a moment. But he's still pulling away from our dear friend Anson Young. Has now pulled a 3.3 second gap over Borja Milan. As Daniel is getting also farther away from Borja Milan. So it's not a win-win situation for either of these three guys. As he's gained almost 2 seconds now, as of now. We'll see at the end of the lap how much time he has got. How much time, sorry, he has gained over Alexander Nekrotkov. And that is a 1.2 second again that he has gained over the Cyber Lynx Racing BMW number 41. As he's catching again the Toyota Supra, I think it's the turn 1, that is the Toyota Supra Volkswagen Sedan. That is still comfortably leading the race, not pushing as much as he was earlier, I think. As we have Daniel that is in the pits now, probably looking for a softer compound tire or refueling a little bit. Nikolai Perutkov now that's taking a little step back, as he hasn't gained as much time as the lap before. Or maybe not. Oh no, he's actually quite gaining a lot. Okay, as we have a new best lap time from the fastest man on track, Tokarev, with a 1.4.3. As Alexander Nekroshkin as well is now going to the pits, so I think it's an overcut done for Nikolai Perutkov. That is now back into the lead and might be for the rest of the race, as Enson Young is still pretty far from him. There's still a slim chance, as there is a yellow flag in sector 1. There's a bit of gravel on the track. And Borja Milan is, really going slower. And new best time again for Tokarev with a 1.4 1 minute 4 seconds and 46 thousandths of a second. That is quite the fast guy, I believe. Yeah, Alexander is really pushing his car to the limit, the point where... Oh no! Hold on, something happened? No. No, he's really pushing, trying his best to catch Bojo Milan back, as Bojo Milan is trying his best to catch Anson Young, and he's now 3 seconds behind him as well. So it's really going to be interesting for the 30 remaining minutes to see how all of this play out. They are closer than ever, considering how far the Peruchkov was, and now Bojo Milan is also as well. Because we have Toyota Supra that is completely cutting the turn 3 section of the track. Must have missed his braking point. Oh, bit of tire sliding from the Toyota Supra. Bit of constraint over them, as we have Tokarev that is going to clear the GT3 and the GT4 ahead. Is he going to be careful? Yeah, he is really respectful. He's really slowing down a lot. Pascaliagin is not giving him the time of the day or whatsoever. He's really focused. He is on a mission, this guy. As the BMW is more respectful of that. But obviously, it's up to the fastest car to make his way. In a way. Repeating myself. Talking about Bojo Milan is now 3 seconds away from Anson Young. Is he now waking up from his nap and starting to catch back up to P2 and eventually P1? That is the big question. As we see again, the side we have again Mr. Tokarev inside, swooshing by on the cameras. Look at the speed of this car, the acceleration. It's just incredible how much he was gaining, and he had to put the car in neutral to not catch him too quick and not lose too much time either, because otherwise it would have been a lose-lose situation for the both of them. So he's very smart about that. Great gentlemanly move from Vlad Tokarev, as he's still pulling away from Enkian Steneker. As we are now inside the cockpit, you can see how fast the trees are flying by. The BMW doesn't seem to acknowledge the Unison Racing LMP2, but it's led him quite fast. As you can see, he's really using all of the track space that he can use. We get a yellow flag in sector 2. This time it's longer, and it's Darren Lim that is either in the wall or has spun. What is happening to the Nouveau Sport BMW? As it's really twitchy. We have a slow car in the last sector. Yep. Oh, what a shame. No, that is Darren has been putting quite a huge effort today, and he has to pit now. It's really not great for his strategy. As we are back watching Borja Milan, still trying to catch a glimpse of the real taillights of the BMW of Anson Young. Really pushing the Mercedes to its limits and as well the track limits, but it's not really optimizing the trajectory there. But looks like he still got a really good exit out of the turn 7. So beautiful. So I've heard today that, so obviously there was a Formula One race today in China, and it has happened that the two Ferraris of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have both been excluded from the Chinese GP for being underweighted, and apparently I guess the Alpine as well been thrown out of the results. So it's quite interesting how the 2025 season is starting. Already some drama. As there are also news that Xiaomi is recruiting some BMW executives for the European EV Research Center. So Europe is really pushing the electric cars over the Europeans that can't afford them yet. Well, not the basic families, as we get a replay of Keenan Lee Wang, that has had a massive lockup, completely ruining his turn 1. I hope it doesn't get a flat spot, because it's not going to be good otherwise, and it just keeps snowballing into the car that locks up all the time. Maybe a gear down, another gear down would have helped. Another replay from Koke Shedbaran that must have got it a corner or not. A spin. Oh, tire lock up. Huge understeer, but he's cleared of the wall. Beautiful save from Koke Sardaran, as he is still looking to be the winner of today's race. And Lim is still into the pits 3 minutes after the stop. Is he coming out soon? He has come out, but now it's a 5 laps gap to P6. That is a 2 laps gap to P5. So overall 7 laps. So I think it's the end of the race for him today, unless they all crash, and I don't think that would happen in a logic world. Oh, we have the LMP2 of Jan Sneneker that is in the grass. So maybe the same lockup as Li Wang. yeah, he was trying to avoid Poggio Milan's car, a Mercedes, and pretty much had a rear drivetrain lockup. That is lucky. As he is now back to the trails of Poggio Milan, trying to clear the Mercedes driver. As we are back on board with Poggio Milan, that is almost 5 seconds behind Anton Young, and it's still chasing for P2, I believe. As we have a Toyota Supra of Koke Serdan that has just had a moment. Maybe did it stress him out? Yeah. That's not good. Kelly again came into the grass with Vlad Kokarev that has just cleared him, and now he's looking to clear as well Poggio Milan in a very friendly manner. Lovely, good to see. Lean passing. Love the way these 6.2 liter V8 sounds. It's incredible the way it rolls. Listen to it. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't believe the fact that AMG department of Mercedes has decided to think, well, I thought and try to force feed AMG fans a four-cylinder car where all they want is a V8. As we are back on board with Gleb Kali again, that is now 10 seconds away from Koke Serdaran, as he's been running quite a clean race. Not too many mistakes. He's really taking it easy, but pushing as well. Look how much he's using the track. It's mind-blowing. As we have Jan Steneker that is now into the pits. So I guess he's refueling because the car is already off the lifts. As we have Li Wangdan now is as well pitting for either fuel or tires. But I think it would be tires because of the massive lockup that he has had. And it is tires. She's lifted. And here we are back with Poggio Milan now that is 5 seconds away from Anton Young, and we have this yellow infected tree, something must have happened again. And yeah, he's really not helped, I think, considering that the Mercedes is quite a heavy car, so if he's overfueled, it's not gonna help him catch back the BMW, as we are with Miguel Piqueras that has had a moment again. The unlucky guy of the race. Oof. Yeah, that's not a good look. Same spot as Bruno Collife earlier in the race, but now it's self-inflicted. He's not having his best day today, as we are watching Caleb Kaliagin again flying past the pit lane, on board into the cockpit, really hard on the brakes, trying his best to turn the car, but turned too early, not releasing the brakes, doesn't help. He's pushing, as Bojo Milan is in the pits now for fuel, either fuel or tires, but I think he will be changing tires. As Daniil Nekroshkov, oh no, not Nekroshkov, as a Potugin, as Daniil is short Nekroshkin, but I can't. No, Alexander Nekroshkov is ahead of Bojo Milan. The strategy has worked out with 18 minutes left on the clock. He is running stronger than ever, and his BMW is screaming and roaring and just pretty much pushing him to the utmost maximum to catch back that BMW Benson Young, as he's closely followed by his teammate. Now he's a few seconds back. And now he's trying to get a bit of drafting that would help him a little bit. Maybe get a fast lap, at least for the pride. They won't race, obviously, unless he's faster. Mathieu Tereshiev. He's pushing. Now it's motivating him, and it's good to see that. It helps when you're 2 laps down and you see a little bit of friendly and familiar faces. Well, on the other end, it's a re-run. You get a little bit of on the oversteer, goes by the curb. Too much throttle over the curb, trusting a little bit too much the traction control on this car. But he's really pushing it. You can see how much he's trying, and he's actually matching his teammates' rhythm. It's not going to be enough to contend anymore for podium. Being 2 laps down doesn't help at all. But at least he's trying, he's not giving up. It's giving it track time, and it's more better to just keep on going and trying to improve and understand the car, improve your technique as well. He's sliding a little bit. He's really not. Whoa. Oh, I think he does like that. It's like Alexander Nikolic is now clear of his teammate, and he's soon to be retaken by Tokarev in the Unison Racing LMP2. As we are on board with Nick Proskov once again, but he's really trying his best to keep the car between the white lines. We see Toyota Supra getting closer, that they will have to clear in order to not lose too much time to Bojo Milan, and mostly clear it cleanly, as Bojo Milan is making his Mercedes roar to life, trying to catch back to the BMW of Alexander Mikhailov. But it's not going to be an easy feat. He will have to push like it's qualifying for the next 14 minutes, otherwise he won't get a chance to catch him again. As Nekrosov must have been a bit slowed down by the Toyota Supra from, remember, I think it was Sandra. As we get now cockpit view, the Mercedes, all of the little lights flashing, the white dots, the little LED lights are either to tell him there's the ABS activated when it's in yellow, and when it's in blue, it's the traction control that activates. It's something that now is implemented. Well, it's been a while now, but what you can see in most of the modern sports car. But you can see small lights. You most commonly see that in Ferraris, like the 458 or that Ferrari as well. When they're on track, you don't have that with Porsche. You have that with Mercedes still, with the W214 Gen, I think. As he's getting now, he's now 1 second. He's gaining 1 second now over Alexander Nekrosov. So something must have happened to Alexander, because he's really slowing down all of a sudden. And well, he's not being slowed down by anything, for him at least. I also hope for Nyland that he gets a chance. Oh, lag. He gets a chance to battle for the podium again. Obviously, it's not up to me to decide who deserves it the most. I think they're both incredible drivers, and they've both given a huge performance today. And they're still not done, because we still have 12 minutes on the clock. See who's going to complete the podium today in the GT3 category. As Bezrukov is still leading from Young and still pulling away from Young. And we have Jan Steneker now that is in the gearbox of the Mercedes and just overtaken. It makes sense. He's a P2. And that would be as well a fixed podium for the LMP2s. I just really hope there's not another big crash, because that would make there wouldn't be a podium for the LMP2s if there's only 2 cars remaining. That would be a shame. But I count on these drivers' talents to the cars safe and sound and bring it to the checkered flag. As Bojo Milan is now 2 seconds away from Nekrosov, and he's might be being slowed down actually by the Toyota Supra. So Bojan better make sure he gets cleared of them, because they do not care, and I think he will lose time to them. Yeah, he's going to lose time, but he can recover that if he gets a bit of slipstream from the W there, I think, Supra of Kokesertaran, that he overtakes and gets past. Still pursuing tail of the Nekrosov BMWs, as there is a yellow flag in sector 1. hoping it's not something too bad. Still, 2.1 seconds. Trail braking into the corner, accelerating early, getting as much curves as he can. Optimizing it, trying to cut as much distance to his fellow competitor, really pushing it wide to the extent of getting shaving the grass almost. He's really trying hard to get back and get that P3, get into podium contention. Look at that hard braking. Oh, lifted a little bit. And it worked. We are back seeing Nikolai Berutkov is being overtaken. Oh no! They almost called each other out of the race. That wouldn't have been a good thing. They have to be careful now. At the end of the race, there's fewer chances now to recover from any spin or anything. They can't afford that. Only the MP2s now can afford to spin because there's only 3 contenders as he spun. Holy sh! Wow, that's a big shot. Lucky him, there was a barrier between him and the macho. That wouldn't have been a good look. As he's on the edge, battling with his car, trying to get closer to Alexander Nekrotkov, and he is actually 5/10 now behind him. As we have 7 minutes left now of racing time, and he's not willing to give up the fight for P3. Neither is Alexander Nekrotkov, as he breaks late into the T-corner, and he still gets a really good exit, but not as good as Borja Milan, as he is giving him the look into the mirrors, telling him, I'm here, but I'm not gonna attack you, but remind you that I'm there. Here is he showing himself into the mirrors, just trying to infiltrate his mind. But that's a double-edged sword, because the guy could react in a bad way, but usually they react the same and just lose focus. As you can see, he's really gaining on the braking. He's more on the edge and really rotating the car with the brakes and not with the wheel. As you can see, they are both different techniques. See right around the outside, he's trying, but he's not gonna get the move completed yet, as they are now side to side going for turn 3. As Alexander has the outside line now, and he's cleared of him, but still not an overtake until the end of the lap. He still got time. He has to push. Push. As we are seeing Hanson Young, that is now 2 seconds faster a lap than Nikolai Berushka, with Blue Steel Racing BMW, as he got a chance to win the race. Now that he has 5 minutes to go for it, but the Toyota Supra is not willing to give him the chance to do it, as he is now into the grass. And he's going to be closely followed by the Nuvo Racing BMW that has been quite struggling for the whole race, with a lot of oversteering, twitching and all outside of the corners, so it might be a setup related and not much of a driver related situation. As as the car is really twitchy. It doesn't seem really to be stable. But no, Nikolai Berukov has pulled the gap again. And Milan is now cleared of 1.5 seconds away from Nikolai. They are pushing it now, and he's pushing really hard, as you can see. He really wants this victory, but for now it's not gonna be enough. He overdrives it instead of pushing it to the limit. It's gonna be very complicated, and I don't think Nikolai Berushkov is going to make any mistakes till the end. Can almost pretty much relax and lift off, at least on the half of the track. I mean corners, before corners, not lift up for half of the lap. As he's really pushing, as you can see, he was very wide on the exit. He does not want to give up, and that's you gotta give it to him. He's really been battling for the whole race. He's gained back a second from Nikolai Berutkov, so I think he's really. So Berutkov, I think, is really spreading a bit his legs because he's been slowing down a little bit for the past 2 laps, 3 laps even. But he knows for now that the win is his, as Tokarev, as Koke Sertaran. But Tokarev is still pushing hard. He might be going for another fastest lap, who knows. Yeah, the Gibbs on V8 really sounds so good. These NMP2s are just marvelous. Hearing them in real life as well is marvelous. Like, it just shake your whole body with the composure. Wow, beautiful. So Young is now 9 seconds away from Nikolai Berutkov. Will it be enough in these 2 minutes left of racing with 2 laps left? That would be, or around, yeah, I think it would be 2 laps now. 2 laps left. It's going to be incredibly difficult. And I state again, I don't think Berushkov is going to do a single mistake until the end. And he might be pushing to keep the gap wide and avoid being in danger, as we have. As for now, with 1 minute left, we're looking at Tokarev getting the overall win over Steneker and Lei Wang. We have Berutkov ahead of Young, ahead of Milan, and Nekrotkov, Daniel and Lim. And in GT4 we have Koke Serdaran and Lev Karyagin that are still pushing as well. Lev is really pushing it, followed by Romero and Figueras. As Vlad is coming to home for a certain win. Very dominant drive from him. He has given quite performance. I think he would have had a huge battle with Hakimi, but because of certain things happening earlier on in the race, it didn't happen. So now he's the winning man today. He's the shining star of the race today. He could as well lift off a little bit and pretty much end the race there. I think he's really trying to go for another lap, or a joyride, I would say. With 4 seconds left on the clock, he is going to win the round 4 of the GRL Endurance Series. So congratulations to you, Tokarev, as Jan Steneker is still looking, and Perushkov has won the round 4 as well for GT3. Congratulations to you. Completing the podium will be Young, Hanson Young and Roger Milan for now. Incredible drive from Nikolai. He's been pushing really hard the whole race, as well as Hanson Young. He's done an incredible job. And as well, congrats to Bojo for this recovery drive. I think he should be pretty proud of himself. He has to be, because that was beautiful race. And congrats as well to the podium sitters of the GT4 series. That was quite a beautiful race, I must say. Eventful as well. They neither of the drivers of the categories have given up. They didn't left anything for wonder. They just kept on pushing hard. That's why there's been that many incidents yet, but it just shows us how much commitment and how much committed as well they were for today's race. That was a challenging track, and I think these guys love to have a challenge like that, and they did incredibly well. And I can only congratulate them and lower my hat to them. As we are on the cooldown lap now, and we will get the top cars, top contenders to So, Nikolai, congrats on your victory today. That was quite the commanding drive you showed us. Um, what was your favorite moment during the race?
Hello, guys. Thank you for inviting for this interview. And first of all, I want to say that I was really happy to enjoy racing again because in the last time in Kazan, I drive I drove incredibly sick and almost died during last half an hour. And today, although I still have some cough, I think it's kind of enjoyable experience. I mean, driving. And starting from the qual, the pace was rather unexpected because, as usual, I only started to practice today before the race. I think it's an hour and a half before racing, and I am not a good qualifying driver. Hot laps is not my best part, but somehow I could win it by uh, 0.01, I believe,
Yep.
from Borja, and started P1. And race was okay because Bikernieki is a track with a flow, and I extremely like all tracks which have this flow, and I just took this flow and drove until the end, except some little moment at the end of the race when I crashed switching lines behind GT4 class.
Mm.
So also there was interesting moment on the first quadrate. Borja pitted, I'm not. I believe if he hadn't some damage, I just don't know. And came to pit just for some fuel and tires. I think it was smart to take fuel, but he also changed tires, I believe, and it just couldn't work because of time loss.
Yeah. So were you expecting to win today?
Uh, I believe I didn't expect this because last round, even though I was sick, guys in front of me were extremely fast, but flow of the circuit helped me, I believe.
Great. Well, thank you.
There, there are also some moment I didn't like during race, except my crash. On the first pit stop, Darren Lim was standing behind me, and when he exited pit, he somehow crashed with me and broke my rear left suspension. So
Oof.
I was annoyed, really.
So that wasn't easy in the end. So that wasn't easy. Well, tops up to you. Congratulations.
Thank you again.
You deserve it. So Kenan,
Yo,
how are you?
I'm good. Thanks.
So how does it feel to be on the podium today? What's it
Well,
like on such a challenging track?
first of all, I would like to say thank you to my team, Ksatra Sim Racing, also especially for Andres Tiawan, who taught me how to conquer this track, and Danindra Lazuardi, who taught me how to drive the LMP2. Because, it's quite unexpected. Because uh, I consider myself as the slowest LMP2 driver in the grid right now, but I guess through practice and consistency and also experience helps. There
Definitely.
was a fun battle with for P3 back then. So yeah, it was amazing. Didn't expect to get a podium today. Yeah, that's all.
It seemed like you had a great strategy in the end because you
Oh
pretty
yeah.
much.
Well yeah. So at first I was starting using the medium tires, and then I realized the medium's really hard on the front tires. So there's a
Hmm.
possibility to double stint with the hard. So I went for the hards for my first pit stop, and
Hmm.
then just went for double stint. When and then I realized that the time is almost out. So for my last pit stop, I would just go through medium and try to push as hard as I could. Who knows? Could probably get P2, but
You
yeah,
pretty much paid off.
yeah, I'm quite satisfied with my pace today. Hopefully, since this is my first podium, solo podium,
Many
uh,
more to come.
it's something. Yeah, hopefully many more to come.
How did you deal with the traffic as well? Because it mustn't have been easy for you guys. There's been quite a lot of incidents between LMP2s and GTs, mostly GT4s. How did you manage that?
Well, at first I was quite struggling to find the right lane to overtake the slower cars, but uh, along the way, I just make a mental memory in my head. So I always think ahead, 2 or 3 corners ahead. So if there's a GT3 or GT4 cars, and then I estimate, will I be able to overtake in this part of track or not? Well, it's a risk. That's multi-class racing.
Yeah, well, congrats again. Beautiful driving from you today, and hope to see you again on the podium.
Thank you, Lucas. Thank you. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers. Hank,
Hi.
how are
Hello.
you feeling? Hi.
Uh, content.
Content?
Yeah.
What happened?
Uh, I mean, the start was great. Then I had a little build with Mika, but I knew I couldn't keep up with him in the long run. So,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, eventually I didn't make it too hard on him. Then later I made a small braking mistake in, I think that's turn two. Um, where Tokarev just overtook me easily, of course, because I was off track.
Hmm.
And yeah, from there it was just coasting. And
Survival.
I have some suspicion that Tokarev pitted under code 80 at the start because I have no clue how he otherwise would have ended up on the strategy that he was on.
Would be. I don't think you
Also,
did.
there was one moment where he no, where there was a GT4 uh,
Hmm.
coming from the wall onto the track and just pressed the brakes when he was right in the middle of the track. So I got a lot of damage from that,
Yes.
which didn't cost me a lot of potential speed, but a lot of consistency because the
Yeah, because of the
left
damage.
rear was very
Oh.
badly damaged.
And then you think you would have lost more time if you repaired it instead
Yeah,
of
yeah, it was
dealing
a
with it?
minute repair, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, maybe
And
it was less time loss, but yeah, you don't know what other damage you can get later on, so it was
so you
still manageable. So
so you're just relieved now that it's over.
as well, yes, yes,
Well, nevertheless, that was a strong performance of you today, and uh,
yeah. Thank you.
I can tell you how much we are happy to see you today on the podium.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. So next round is going to be the 2 hours of Zolder on the 13th of April, Sunday, 2 p.m. European time, UTC plus zero. Um, it was quite an eventful race, and we can't wait to see you again, guys. And thanks for tuning in. And race safe.